Question number 3 asks how the distribution looks on a graph. Basically, I'm asking for you to create a histogram of the frequency information. So we're going to go back to the spreadsheet, and what we can do is select the data that shows the possible values and the frequency of those values, and then we can click on this little button right here, which is the Insert Chart button. And let's make this a bar chart, since that will be a good way to display this data. The default right here is that it's showing row 3 as headers. That's not really what we want. Instead, we want to use column N as labels. We really don't need to use row 3 as headers, although we can. It will have the frequency. And that should work for us in general. If we want to click the Customize button, this allows us to put in a title, and we can change font size and so on. One other thing that I want to just draw your attention to is that right now across the axis it looks okay as distributed, but sometimes the first value gets cut off a little on the left, or the right value gets cut off a little bit on the right. So if you want, you can put a minimum and a maximum that just add 1 to each side, just to give you a little bit more space on there. It's not necessary to do that. It's just something that, depending on the data that you have, it might be desirable at certain times. So that looks fine. I'm going to click on the Update button, and there's my graph. I can actually click in the middle of it, and I can drag it any place on my spreadsheet. And then what I'm going to do is, since I need to paste that into my worksheet, I'm going to go ahead and do my screen capture again. There are a couple of other ways to get that information in, which I'll show you after I copy it. So it's copied right now, but if you click back on the chart itself, you can come back up to this top little triangle and you can save the image. You can also publish the chart, which would allow you to share it with other people or move it to its own sheet. So the copy that I just did will work just fine. And then I can paste that image into my worksheet, and everything is there.